Were you one of those who found it difficult to stay awake during science lessons? I would be lying if I said I did not. Is there something wrong with you and me? I don't think so. But I think there's something really wrong with the way we learn science in India. The same India which was home to physicist C.V. Raman. Sir Chandrasekhar Venkat Raman. He was born in Tamil Nadu's Tiruchirappalli in 1888. His father was a math and physics lecturer. That's how Raman became interested in physics. He studied at Madras Presidency College, began his research in the fields of optics and acoustics. After earning a bachelor's and master's degree, Raman became an accountant in the finance department of the Government of India. This was in the year 1907. While the job kept him busy, Raman took out time to continue experimental research. In 1917, he became professor of physics at Calcutta University. 11 years later, he discovered what is known as Raman scattering. In layman's terms, it means when light passes through a transparent material, some of the deflected light changes its wavelength. This discovery changed our lives, from the way brain biopsies are conducted to the detection of explosive devices. The Raman scattering is a result of what is called a Raman effect. The discovery won C.V. Raman the Nobel Prize in Physics in the year 1930. He was the first Asian to win a Nobel in the sciences, also the first non-white person to win a Nobel in physics. C.V. Raman made this Nobel-winning discovery on the 28th of February, 1928. Today is the 28th of February, 2021. It's been 93 years. Has India kept up with C.V. Raman's legacy, or have we forgotten innovation? India and innovation is our focus on this episode of Gravitas Plus. Hello and welcome. I'm Palki Sharma Upadhyay. It is the National Science Day in India, a day dedicated to celebrating C.V. Raman, celebrating science, its importance in our lives. As India cheers its glorious past, the country cannot forget its grim reality. Today's India focuses more on rote learning than research. 1, we do not have an environment for innovation. 2, we do not have enough researchers. And 3, there aren't enough resources for research. Let's talk about environment first. Today, Indian students are running a rat race. A child is formally introduced to science around the age of 6 or 7. It soon becomes her IQ marker, the subject that she must excel in. If required, take extra classes and tuitions in. Science here is not fun. It's more to do with test scores and Olympiads. Come high school and the focus of science shifts to learning outside classrooms, not labs, but coaching classes. Students are told to embrace smart learning, learn only what's required and is relevant for the college exam, the IIT JEE and the NEET. Kota, a town in Rajasthan, has become the stairway to India's premier colleges. Coaching classes here supposedly sell the magic recipe for passing tough tests. 1.5 to 2 lakh science students go to Kota every year. Similar coaching classes are also conducted across India, and estimates say it's a $130 billion industry. When a student enters campus, she becomes a part of the rat race for placements. A couple of years and sometimes an MBA later, most Indian science students land a desk job, a decent paying job with remote resemblance to science. Their careers are then shaped by the grids of Excel sheets and their innovations are limited to PPTs. India ranks 48th in the Global Innovation Index 2020, 64th in creative outputs. How will India innovate when we are not even ready to take risks? We want safe and secure jobs. We do not want to get into research. Just 252.7 people get into research per million Indians. In Denmark, that number is 8,065.88 people per million. In South Korea, it is more than 7,980 people per million. In Sweden, 7,536. Austria, 5,733. Japan, 5,331 people per million. Germany, 5,211. Look at the numbers. Belgium, France, UK, Russia, UAE, and now look at India again. You can see the dearth of researchers. Now look at the dearth of resources. India spends around 0.7% of its GDP on research and development. Israel spends 4.95% of its GDP. South Korea, 4.82%. Sweden, 3.33%. Japan, 3.25%. Austria, 3.17%, Germany, 3.09%. Look at the numbers for Denmark, the US, Belgium, France, the UK, Canada, UAE, Brazil, Russia. India, like I mentioned, spends less than 0.7% of its GDP on R&D, way below the other BRICS nations. It spends just a little more than Mexico and Pakistan. Today's India creates top-notch corporate labor force, people best in the industry when it comes to running organizations, sticking to formats. 2% of the Fortune 500 companies of American origin are led by Indian Americans. Microsoft, Alphabet, Adobe, IBM. Forbes published this article in 2017. It says 90% of Indian startups will fail because of lack of innovation. In 2015, India filed 1,423 international patents. Japan filed 40 times more patents. China filed 29,846. South Korea, 14,626. India is lagging in innovation, and this is not the India we studied about. We were the front runners in science. This is the land of Aryabhat, the father of astronomy. As early as the 5th century, Aryabhat disregarded Achala, the popular view that the earth is immovable. India is the land of Charak. As early as around 100 BC, his book Charak Samhita described diseases and their causes. The oldest Indian Ved, the Rig Ved, mentions the nearly correct measurements of the speed of light. It talks about the age of the universe. The Indus Valley civilization, dating back to 2500 to 1700 BCE, records the use of various metals. India has given the world some of the most renowned scientists: Homi J. Bhabha, Venkatraman Radhakrishnan, S. Chandrasekhar, Satyendra Nath Bose, Meghnath Saha, Srinivas Ramanujan, Jagdish Chandra Bose, Vikram Sarabhai, Hargobind Khurana, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, our former president. So many of us admired him. When he died, the loss felt almost personal. Well, here's something Dr. Kalam had said. When children are encouraged to express themselves and take risks in creating art, they develop a sense of innovation that will help produce the kind of people that society needs to take it forward. So is India moving forward? C.V. Raman won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1930. Only 4 more Indians have been awarded for science since. Hargobind Khurana won the Nobel for Medicine, Subramanian Chandrasekhar for Physics, Venki Ramakrishnan for Chemistry, and Abhijit Banerjee for Economics. None of them were or are residents of India. Have we killed the environment for innovation? Or is it too late to reverse the trend? India has a new policy aimed at encouraging innovation, the Science, Technology and Innovation Policy, or STIP 2020. India also has a new education policy for fostering innovation and creativity. In 2019, the Niti Aayog introduced the India Innovation Index. What you see on your screen is the 2020 report. India needs to press the accelerator. It must realize that Make in India can only be driven by innovation. Atmanirbhar Bharat relies on innovation. India needs innovation to drive its $5 trillion dream. This National Science Day, let's change our approach towards the subject. Don't force science on students. It is not an IQ marker. Let science be a passion, not part of a race for jobs. Those who choose to specialize in science, let them experiment with the subject. Let them grow. Do not confine their creativity to set answers. India does not need more robots to work in a factory. We need people who create those robots, the best of the kind. I wish you all a very happy National Science Day.